The ending of Annihilation is bonkers.
Most of Mortal Kombat Annihilation is bananas, but the film's final moments take the zaniness to a whole new level. The end of the movie features a showdown between Liu Kang and Shao Kahn, the outcome of which will decide the fate of the Earthrealm. Mid-battle, both warriors transform into giant monsters. Shao Kahn turns into a poorly rendered CG Hydra thing, and Liu Kang becomes a dragon. While Liu Kang does have this power in the original video games, it seems odd that he chose not to transform earlier in the film, as it would have made his mission to save Kitana a lot easier.
The first film's soundtrack got a sequel.
The original Mortal Kombat movie's soundtrack is remarkable. It's loaded with danceable electronic tracks and songs from some of the most popular metal bands of the 1990s. Within 10 days of its release, the record went platinum and earned a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the most successful video game spin-off soundtrack album. The soundtrack was so popular that a second compilation album titled Mortal Kombat released the following year in 1996. While the sequel record is not tied to any film, a few of the featured songs were later used in other Mortal Kombat releases.
Danny Glover and Sean Connery were considered to play Raiden.
When it came time to cast Raiden, the franchise's Thunder God and appointed Defender of Earth, the film's creators had a lot of options. In a retrospective interview, co-creator Ed Boon explained how the original game never showed his face that clearly. So we never really defined a race, meaning Raiden could theoretically be played by anyone. This creative freedom allowed the crew to consider a wide array of actors. Associate producer Lori Apelian described the selection process, saying, "We inquired about Sean Connery for the Raiden role, but we understood at that time that he really wanted to golf. He wasn't interested at that time in doing a physical role." While at first, Boone was convinced the film would be cancelled prior to the start of filming, his attitude began to change as they started seriously considering actors. All of a sudden we were getting phone calls about casting, and they were saying, "What about this guy for this character? What about this guy for that character?" I remember them saying, "What do you think of Danny Glover as Raiden?" While Boone admits Christopher Lambert was not the first actor he thought to call, he also believes Lambert did a great job with.
No one cared for the sequel.
The first Mortal Kombat film succeeded in part because the cast and crew came together to make the best of a tough situation. Despite the tight budget and mandated PG-13 rating, the crew tried to keep the mood light while on set, and leaned into guilty pleasures intrinsic to the fantasy karate genre. Unfortunately, none of this brilliance stuck around for the film's sequel. For various reasons, all but two of the original cast members refused to reprise their roles for Mortal Kombat Annihilation. While some allegedly had scheduling conflicts, many were likely turned off by the script, which, judging by the final product, was a complete mess. In a 1997 review for Entertainment Weekly, film critic John R. Leonetti condemned Annihilation, calling it fragmented and monotonous, without a semblance of the gymnastic cleverness that at least made the first Mortal Kombat film into watchable trash. As debased as movies come. Other critics seemed to agree. As of 2018, Mortal Kombat Annihilation has a 3% score on Rotten Tomatoes. The single positive review listed is a 2003 retrospective published in a daily newspaper from Lawrence, KS.
Tom Cruise wasn't allowed to visit the set.
Before moving to Thailand for the majority of the shoot, the first month of filming for Mortal Kombat took place in Santa Monica, CA. After wrapping on Fridays, the crew liked to frequent a bar located by the airfield where Tom Cruise owned a hangar. One fateful night, Cruise, who was actually considered for the part of Johnny Cage, stopped by the bar, but an on-set medic wouldn't let him in. Lyndon Ashby, who was picked to play Johnny Cage, said Cruise asked if he could hang out, to which the medic replied, "You're not in this movie." "Go away," Cruise objected, saying, "I just want to see." But the medic was adamant and turned him away.
Cameron Diaz almost starred as Sonya Blade.
The list of Hollywood heroes who were almost cast in the first Mortal Kombat movie reads like a rap sheet of every famous person from the 90s. While tons of stars such as Sean Connery and Johnny Depp didn't make the cut, Cameron Diaz was cast as Sonya Blade thanks to her performance in The Mask. Lori Apelian, the film's associate producer, described seeing Diaz on screen to The Hollywood Reporter, saying, "As soon as we saw the dailies from The Mask, there was no question that she was a star. We put her into training because she had not really done this kind of martial arts work before." Unfortunately, Diaz broke her wrist during a practice session and had to be replaced by Bridget Wilson Sampras.
The first Mortal Kombat was an unexpected success.
The first Mortal Kombat was an unexpected success.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care, bye.